It's on. Are we live? It says we're live. Hopefully it's not private. Are we live? Alright. We are live, or we're supposed to be live. Okay. We are live. Perfect. So, let me change this. What is going on? We are live. Can you guys hear me? Yes, you can. I think you can. Alright, guys. So, I just did a live stream, but it was on private, so you guys couldn't see it. Sadly, but surely. So basically, oh yo, what's up, chilling with Josh? Been a long time. Yeah, no, I did my one. It was private, so sorry about that. So basically, what's going on right now? This is the app I've been working on. It's not the one that I've been doing live. I was gonna see if you guys liked this style better, just explaining stuff. So basically, this is like the web view. Remember, I can play that. There's gonna be a whole bunch of views for like tips or whatever, and then this is the web view, and there's this little like loading thing. So my assets, I added these loading images. So basically, it just runs through these as if it's loading. I'll show you what happens. It'll load up here soon. But yeah, we're doing that. We got this all working. The loading is there as well, which I show you in the code to WebView. So I created a function, run load animation. It doesn't take in any parameters, and it doesn't return anything. You just call it, right? So when we load it, when do I call it? Okay, so when the web starts to load, I call the run animation, and then when it's finished, I just hide it. So that works. And we have an array of images, and then 1 through 8 for our for in loop, and then we're just adding numbers there, so it goes load image 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then yeah, I'll show you here. You got any questions? Any questions? So see, like here, introducing the live photo kit. Click there, loads up, and the animation starts to load. See how that works? Pretty cool. So if you guys didn't know, you can use live photos. I believe you can use them in your apps now, or it's just in the beta right now. So see sample code, and then you can also put them in your websites, which is cool. And then we have, of course, YouTube. And then this will be our quizzes part. Array. And then it'll have a question, and then 3 answers. And then you click on the answer, and then you click next or something like that. And then it'll go to the next question, yada yada. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing right now. Any questions? Oh yeah, I was gonna show you guys this new thing I did. Yeah, let's see. You guys will be able to see it. It's pretty cool. You see that? So if someone subscribes, that'll pop up. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny. And then on the bot, and that's a Swift. I guess I could change that. Because that'll be bot. So. Bot. Yeah, so definitely I'd go Swift. I mean, JavaScript's a good language too. But I think companies like people that know both Swift and JavaScript, because those are like the big mobile languages, it'll be interesting to see where companies are headed with things like Xamarin, where it's cross-platform. I don't really like Xamarin because they don't have a lot of documentation. But it'll definitely be interesting to see where the companies are headed with that. And then, like if you know JavaScript, you can make a lot of stuff. Like, for instance, bots. A lot of bots are done with the JavaScript. I'm using an API.ai, which I can pull up here. But they have the ability to use Swift. Right, so you can use all these languages. So like Xamarin, cross-platform. It even makes Windows too, if you have a PC. Python, PHP, C#, C++, Node.js, or JavaScript, Android, so Java, Ruby, Cordova, I don't know what that is, Unity, HTML5. So, I mean, this is what I'm going to be using. It, like, understands what the user is inputting, and then it can export based on what you've told it to do. A good, how do you say it, like like an a augmented reality, no, not, that's AR, artificial intelligence response to whatever you asked. But it's pretty cool. If you ever make a bot, you can use this. See, it's pretty simple. It's not like coding or anything unless you're putting it into your app or your website. Other than that, it's pretty simple. Just like words and stuff. Implementing it may be a little harder, especially in iOS. But I'll probably do a video on it sometime. And this is the quiz cell where it talks about that. I think we've talked about everything so far I've done in the app. One thing I'd like to express more is the tips. As a new developer, like, tips are really important to like stay ahead on the curve of learning how to code. So that's why this will be pretty useful for you guys. TestFlight, stuff like that. As an Apple developer, for free, they see, like, for instance, the touch bar, right? If you guys haven't heard, the new MacBook Pro has the touch bar, which is a really, really cool feature. By the way, in your videos, tell people to turn on notifications so they don't miss the stream. Okay. Okay, so they don't get notified unless they have notifications. I guess that makes sense. Alright, yeah, I'll do that. Thank you. But like this touch bar, right? If you didn't know about it, maybe you haven't been up on the latest stuff, it could potentially, like, it wouldn't hurt your app, or I mean it could hurt your app, but it would definitely help your app if you had it. It's like I got the new MacBook with the touch bar, and if your app doesn't have the touch bar stuff in it, it's just like the normal touch bar, I'm not going to be as happy. It's not as great of a user experience as if it had it. So you just need to like stay on the curve of all the new information, even though of course it's going to be a lot of new information stuff. Like for instance, WWDC is coming up. There's going to be a ton of stuff that they're coming out with. So gotta stay on the curve. So why are you learning Java? Just cause? You got some design stuff. Design guides. Eclipse or Android Studio. I don't know what Eclipse is. We'll see. Oh, it's instructable. Huh? What is Eclipse? It looks just like a plugin. Yeah, if it's just a plugin, I mean, plugins are good. If it helps you out. Like I have Android Studios here. I've made a couple applications on Android Studio. I don't really like Android. Like, I mean, their auto layout and all that stuff's way better than Apple's, I think. It's a lot more simple because it does it automatically, or you can do it automatically. Software to build apps. What do you mean? Like, it is software itself? Like, is it like an application that you download, or is it just like a attachment like that you can add to Android Studios? Because if it's just like an attachment that you can add, like totally that's cool. But like if it's, I don't even know if you can do that, like a different application. But I mean, it's all a matter of preference, really. I would stick with Android Studios. Unless it's just an extension. If it's an extension, that's cool. But I would stick with Android Studios just because it's Android Studios and they got some cool stuff. Like they've been working on it for a long time. But yeah, so like Apple gives you, they give away like valuable information for free. It's its own thing, really. I don't know. I would probably stick with Android Studios, probably because it's Android itself. I don't know. Like, you can't really ask me because I don't like Android. But like, I mean, Android's cool, but I just don't like Java. It's just weird. Especially since I don't have like Android phone. I mean, I have the simulator to test on, but it's not like in my hands. And I don't know, I like Apple. I like Xcode. It's easier. Like they're both similar, but like importing assets into Android, or at least when I was working with Android, it's really hard. Like in Xcode, you just like drag and drop. Yeah, I would suggest getting a Mac. Like Macs. Like, the way I look at it is, people are always like, PC. Well, if you go on a PC, you can't download Xcode because Apple hasn't allowed PCs to do that. But with the Mac, you can download Android Studio, you can download Unity. You can download pretty much everything, except for, this is Visual Studio Code. You can't download Visual Studio, but I think I think Microsoft made this. They're releasing it, so like you can get everything on a Mac, but you can't get everything on a PC. Like the only thing that I personally know of that you can't get on a Mac that you can get on a PC is stuff that like Microsoft makes, and they try keeping it from people so people would buy their computers, but they don't always do that because then they're leaving out a large percentage of the market, especially for developer tools and stuff. But like you don't really need Visual Studio. There's other text editors. I mean, Visual Studio is good, but I would definitely get a Mac. And like Hackintosh or whatever, I wouldn't do that. I'm pretty sure Hackintosh is just like a virtual Mac machine. Like, I mean, you could do that too on your PC, but I would suggest getting a Mac. Okay. Yeah. Old PC. No, I mean, I like PCs for like gaming. Don't get me wrong on PCs, but other than gaming, I don't see any purpose for PCs. And I'm always on a Mac. Like, I like the applications like this and stuff. Matter of preference. Like Linux. I like Linux, even though it's safer. Yeah, for sure. Macs are safer than PCs. Not like I'm not a cyber expert, but like I learned a little bit about cybersecurity, and I mean it makes sense. Like hackers, they want to go where the majority of people are, and the majority of people have PCs because they cost less, so it's easier for them to like put it out to 1,000 people rather than putting it out to 800 people. They have a greater chance of making money off of the 1,000 people, so that's why they do that stuff. And I mean, you may say, well, Mac owners have more money, so they'll go after them, but I don't know. Statistically speaking, HPs have more attacks, so maybe they're not successful, but more attacks. Yeah, I like cybersecurity. It's pretty cool. It's important to know. Like on my my Instagram that I posted today, was talking about the threat of cybersecurity. And like you can see on the Norse attack map, this is constant attacks all the time. So, gotta be aware. That's one reason I use the virtual machines. I learned about them. Because you can use a virtual machine and like they can't steal your information. They can steal the virtual machine's information, but there's nothing on there. Nothing personal on there, at least. If I had a Mac, I wouldn't use Java. Okay. Oh, so like you're only doing Android because you don't have a Mac, I'm guessing. Is that right? Just let me know. Oh, okay, that makes sense, yeah. That'd be the same here. But like for instance, like I got the Mac Mini for 400. No, it was like $500. Like go to Apple refurbish. Apple has like certified refurbished stuff. You can get that stuff for like on sale because it's refurbished, and it's the exact same thing, but you can get like $100 off or whatever. So that's what I did. Got mine for like $600. Not bad. I mean, if you buy a PC, a nice PC is about the same. So, plus, like at first I didn't have a Mac. I used my grandfather's iMac, but then I got my own, and then I got the MacBook, which is way cool. Like if you have the money to buy a MacBook, definitely get a MacBook. Yeah. Like was it a Mac Mini for $700? Like here, I'll pull it up for you. I'll show you what. I mean, I don't know if it's like against rules or whatever to pull stuff up. Yeah, like saving $90 an 11.6 inch MacBook Air, 1.6 gigahertz. Like, that's not bad. I mean, like, because I mean, you can take the laptops with you, like, to places. That's why I like my laptop. Do they have any Mac Minis? I don't know. They don't have any Mac Minis. Now, what I think's happening, Apple released something about, like, the Mac Mini. I think they're releasing a new Mac Mini, so we'll see. Like, if you really want, like, the best of Apple, it's definitely the Mac Pro. These things are crazy. Look how much that is. And that's not, I don't even think that's the highest you can get. Like, you can get way better stuff. 3.7. Yeah, like, look at this. $6,000. Sheesh. Crazy stuff. Yeah, and if you ever want a discount, right? Save in a Mac for your studies, right? If you buy it online, it's like $579, brand new Mac Mini. Right, like, that's not a bad deal. But you get a discount as a student, which is pretty cool. It'd be like a certain percentage off. I don't know how much they can give you off, but 5 amazing apps, 1 powerful collection. Yeah, I really want to get the Final Cut. Yeah, I think it's Final Cut. I really want to get that. Haha, yeah, Dunkin' Donuts and code. Yeah, definitely. Well, then a laptop will be better for you for sure. I mean, if you buy it through the education store, you get a discount. So, what's the cheapest? Yeah, in the MacBook Air, they just like updated it. Like, they have a brand new one that they came out with. Like, when they released the new stuff. So maybe this is the one. Probably is. So yeah, definitely good MacBook. They're pretty lit. I mean, if you really, really, really want a MacBook, I'd go with this one. MacBook Pro. I have the 13-inch. 2.7 gigahertz processor. 2.9. Which one did I get? Something like this. That touch bar, it's so nice. So nice. Got an email, my friends. They got a new iPad? Oh yeah, I heard about that. I haven't even seen this. Like, do you guys know what this is all about? Flat out font. Is it like a piece of paper flat? Okay, Retina display. Over 1 million apps. That makes sense. It's only £1. Dang, that's crazy. I remember getting an email about this, but I never even like watched it. Anyways, we get back to coding. I mean, every coder likes Apple, right? So quiz on the Quiz VC. We got some stuff popping. So yeah, this is gonna be the bot. You can ask questions, and then tutorials. Right, 254. Yeah, did someone else subscribe? I didn't get the little animated emoji thing. That'd be cool. Yeah, now I'm trying to get like the chat to pop up underneath like my image or something like that, because like people that watch it later on, they don't know, like if they watch the recorded version, they don't get to see the chat, so I have to figure out how to do that, because that would be cool. You guys, my goal for this month is 400 subs. I think we can hit it. 400 subs. I don't think that's too far out of our reach. 204 subs. So like, if you guys want like share this video out to your friends. That'd be awesome. I think we can hit 400. I don't know. I think like if you're at 17, 18, like you don't have to get a job. You can start your own company. Like I know it's kind of like a big thing now. Everyone like wants to start their own companies, but like if you're really good at coding, like companies like for instance like Apple, you can get the WWDC scholarship, and companies if they see stuff like that, they'll be like, wow, this kid really, he must be good at coding, or you know, just like make apps for companies for free. Like just keep making apps, keep making apps, keep making apps. And I mean, I see what you're saying, because like that's probably the reason I don't have a job right now at coding. But I'm also still in high school, so maybe when I get out of high school, we'll see. And I live in Colorado, so there's not that many programming jobs unless I went up to Denver, which is kind of far, so we'll see. But yeah, no, I think like you can make your own apps, put ads in them, make money. You know, people say get a job. You don't have to get a job. You can make your own stuff. You could sell the apps for money. Maybe you could I don't know, maybe get a remote job, which at 18 they probably won't be like, yeah, a remote job. But companies are also looking at younger people because they're younger. I'm not going to go to college, honestly. If I ever went, I'd do online because online is more simple. But I'm not going to go to college. Like a good example, like people always are telling you like you got to go to college, you got to go to college. Well, maybe that was true back in 1960 when it was like the way to go. But it's like saying, you know, people used to get around with a horse and buggy back in the day. Are you still supposed to get around on a horse and buggy today in today's economy? No, people drive cars. Why don't they drive a horse and buggy? Well, cars are faster. Cars are better. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, companies do look at the BS. Like, if you have a BS in computer science, it's like, maybe that's a requirement. But I've seen some big companies, they don't even care if you have a BS. They just want apps on the App Store. They want you to have real coding experience. Like, I looked into college a little bit, and I was looking at like the curriculum that you'd have to go over. And like, if I want a job in coding, why do I have to take English? Like, I don't even like English. I don't like math. Like, I mean, you can consider this stuff math, but it's not the math that I'd be taking in college. So what's the point in me even taking it? They're just trying to make money off of me. So we'll see. I might go. I mean, college isn't bad. I just think it's kind of messed up right now, especially like the cost. Like, you can go $100,000 in debt easily and then come out and not get a job. Like, I'd rather not go to college and get paid $45,000 a year than to go to college and potentially get paid $100,000. And like within a 4-year gap, I could become a developer making $100,000 and I'd be in zero debt besides $100,000 in debt, you know. So kind of my college spiel. But it's also like programmers, it's not that like used to be like you have to go to college, but I think now it's going in more like you don't have to go to college, you just have to code. So it's interesting. We'll see. We'll see. Any other questions? Oh yeah, I saw some videos that said, yeah, no, for real. I was looking at the curriculum. You learn like HTML, like, okay, yes, companies use HTML for websites, right? But you can literally Google every single thing about HTML. JavaScript, right? I mean, yes, but like, why pay for it? Like, you could spend like 2 days on the internet and learn JavaScript, right? Not even all the, like, another reason I don't necessarily like college is like, they don't teach up-to-date type stuff. So like if you go to college, your college may not be teaching you mobile development, and that's like the big thing. Everyone's moving mobile. Like people are predicting that like in the next few years that that mobile will be what everyone uses. I mean, like, who carries a computer around with them? But everyone carries their phone around with them. So, yeah, I really don't think, you don't learn that much. Like, I'm sure if you spent 4 years just learning how to code, posting apps on the App Store, maybe like working barely at a company, or interning at a company, you'll have a higher ability in the programming field than if you go to college, for sure. And like when you're going to a company though, don't be like expecting to be a senior developer, especially if you don't have a degree, but like look for opportunities and then take advantage of those opportunities, and with those opportunities then you can grow and become a senior developer eventually. But yeah. All right. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So I'm going to WWDC. I'll be learning. Well, I think they're gonna be releasing Swift 4. I'm not too sure about that. Yeah. So my first language was Swift. It took me like 6 months. Like Swift, the language itself took me like a week. Swift, the language itself, is super simple, right? Like Swift would be like func, creating a function, has parameters, a table view, and an int, and then it returns integer, or returns an integer. So quizzes.count, like that type of stuff, or a var quiz of type string. Yeah, that took me like a week. But like coding, like this type of stuff, right? Like learning about classes, UI table view delegate, all that stuff. It was about 6 months. But after I learned my first one, I went to Java, then I went to JavaScript, then I went to C#, and HTML I guess was technically my first one, but that was in high school. Like I didn't really code with it too much because that was in school. It doesn't really count, but that was technically my first language. But HTML is not really like a language; it's more of like for layout type stuff. So yeah, I think that's all. JavaScript. Well, I learned I was trying to get a job at a place. So I was actually learning web development. That's where I learned JavaScript. And what was I about to say? Yeah, I had to learn like MySQL, PHP, all that stuff. Like I really wanted this job, but like I tried to be like one of like call people, that call in, and they didn't accept me. It's probably because I was still in high school. That's my guess. The easiest language for me was Swift. I mean, that was the first one. HTML is super easy, but I don't consider it like a language. I mean, it is, but I didn't learn it like that. I just learned it for the layout or whatever. But you can just like Google HTML, so it's not that bad. Swift, super simple. It's been a while since I've coded in Java, but Java, like, they're similar. So once you learn one, right, they all have functions. It's just different syntax, really. They'll have function, they all have variables, they all have, like, in iOS, right, there's a table view. Well, in Android, there's something similar to it. They call it something different. It still has the same type of functions. Everything has, like, a layout of some sort, stuff like that. But Swift was the easiest. I mean, like, Apple's trying to make it, so Swift is a beginner language. So, which I think they're doing a great job at, honestly. That's why they came out, like, Swift Playgrounds. So if you have an iPad, you can check out Swift Playgrounds. It's pretty cool. unless it's too old, because mine's too old, or my personal iPad's too old, so I can't run it on there. But if you have iOS 10, then you can. So Swift for sure. Yeah. So do you guys want videos for like more beginners, or you want like me to go? Because I'm thinking about starting like courses, online courses, not on YouTube. It'd be on Udemy. Do you want me to do like in-depth courses, so you learn Swift, and then from Swift you learn beginner development, and then intermediate? Like I can do that, like 3 different courses, and then on Udemy, and then my YouTube channel I'll constantly be posting. But after you take those 2 courses, like you'll totally understand what I'm doing in these applications, and you can go out, make them better, make them your own, publish them, stuff like that. So if you guys want to, let me know. I'm thinking about doing it, so we will see. Any questions? Yeah, no, that's true, but that's why if I do it on Udemy, it'd be no ads. I mean, there'd be payment, but it's like I'm not gonna charge like outrageous. It'd be like $10 for like a course that teaches you Swift, or I may even have like discounts where it's like free for a week or whatever, or you share it with your friends, you get it for free, stuff like that. But there'll be no ads on that stuff. And you gotta keep it for forever with no ads. Besides, like, yeah, I know you're saying on YouTube, which kind of stinks. The Treehouse ads. Yeah, no, it's pretty funny. I mean, I don't watch my videos on YouTube, but yeah, no, I've seen the Treehouse ads. And I think there's another company. They like have their students like on LinkedIn like crazy. Because I mean, I have LinkedIn, and it's kind of crazy. I forgot what that one's called. Like Dev Camp. I don't remember. It's something crazy though. Like every single one of their students is on LinkedIn, and they're like yada yada student in training or something like that. But like, in all honesty, like if you want to learn how to code and go to those like boot camp online things, those are. Oh, you said definitely do courses. Yeah. What was I about to say? Yeah, like going to like, I don't know how expensive Treehouse, whatever coding is, but what I've heard, like online camps and stuff, they're expensive. Like you can pay monthly up to like $10,000, like not even questioning, like $10,000 a month for learning how to code. When like Apple's philosophy is people should learn how to code. Like, I don't agree with this, but Apple believes that everyone, like, it should be a necessity. Like, if you're in school, like, you should have to learn how to code, which I don't agree with. But like Apple's trying to provide code for free to everyone, and these companies are trying like $10,000, like crazy. Maybe it's not 10,000. Maybe it's like 2,000 a month, but like that stuff adds up really fast. So I like to bring free code to people, and if not free, at least like super cheap. Like I haven't even done anything paid, but it's like kind of hard to keep doing all this stuff without being able to get paid to some extent. So I have like swag. When I start getting paid, then I can do that type of stuff. Like I don't know why, but my ads, I don't get paid anything. I get $0 from YouTube. I don't know why. Like February or March, I was making a lot of money. Like not a lot of money, but like I was getting paid quite a bit on the ads. But this month and last month, like, they didn't pay me anything. It's really weird. Even though my videos are like thousands of views, or not thousands, hundreds of views, and then one of them's like 4,000 or something like that. But they ain't paying me. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll do like a Kickstarter, but definitely something. And like Udemy, you can do like coding quizzes almost. So like I can have this quiz or exercise, and then you go in there and put in your code, and if it's right, you pass. Otherwise, it tells you like what's wrong and how to fix it. So then you like start thinking like a coder, which is pretty cool. Any more questions? I kind of just like went over what I've done in the app instead of like coding. So this will be the bot, and then I showed you guys all this stuff, right? I'm just inputting an image from the database and a name from the database, and then this is the loading animation, and then this of course is the YouTube view with the loading animation right there, and then the quizzes, which is right there. Right, so we got different quizzes, and then when you click on it, I haven't finished this up yet, but it'll have like the question and then 3 answers. Select which one's right, click next, it'll tell you if it's wrong, and it'll give you the right answer. So shouldn't be too bad. And I was thinking like what company, so I wanted to work for Activision, but then they gave me some like copyright deal. I guess it's, according to them, it's illegal to, like, coding wise, this is basically what they're saying. It's illegal to share a link, a YouTube link. So like, you can't email your friend a link of a video. That's what Activision was trying to say, which kind of made me mad. But I'd like to work for Apple for sure, if company. Amazon, that'd be cool. Definitely not Microsoft. But any like company, I mean, they all pay good. It's just like, is the company good fit for me? You know, like, what are the benefits of working there? I've heard places like free food, snacks, swag, stuff like that. Like at Activision, they give you free breakfast, lunch. I don't know about dinner, but they like give you free meals, free swag all the time, snacks, like plenty of snacks. And this is like on their website, or at least it was. They have like a fitness place for you, like all this stuff. Like, I mean, I would work there if they didn't try and get me in trouble for no reason, but we'll see. They haven't responded, so they contacted Apple, so they're like, oh, he's infringing our copyrights, and then I asked them like, what did I do wrong, and then no response, right? And it's been like 2 months. So we'll see. Which, of course, I know it's not illegal to share a link. Like, otherwise there'd be no links, right? So, yep. Yeah, I mean, Facebook would be cool to work for, I guess. Facebook, Instagram. But see, like, getting up to those companies, the interviews are crazy. Like, you have to be a genius to work at, like, well, I don't know if it would be a genius, but, like, at least work your way up in the company. But you have to be pretty smart. Like, I've heard Microsoft, at least, Google. I don't like Google, but, because, like, Google, because I've used, like, their API, like, Firebase is Google. Like, I like that stuff, but they take everyone's information. Like, they're hard to take people's information. Like, it's kind of crazy. And I've heard, like, Microsoft, they try, and if they see a company that they like, they'll like go to you, for instance, and they'll be like under contract, and they'll say, we need to review your code to make sure that this is working properly and all that. And then they go in, they view it for a couple of days, and then they just say we don't want it. They get out of their contract, they go back to their company, and they make it. So they're not stealing. Well, I mean, legally speaking, they're not stealing because they change it to their own thing, but they know how the person's code works. Don't know if it's true, just what I've heard, and that isn't a very nice thing. So, but yeah, totally, I would work. Like, I mean, I'd work anywhere pretty much, just as long as the company has good management. Like, the management part's the biggest, especially at my job I'm at right now. That's the biggest problem. Well, I mean, it's alright, the management, but it could be a lot better. For sure. Alright. So yeah, I'm working on those online courses. I'll be out here soon. After WWDC, because that's when they release. Excuse me. That's when they release the new Xcode. So I'm guessing that's when Swift 4 comes out, iOS 11 beta, and I can start recording. Swift 4 will be mainly in like the playgrounds, so I can show you how the code works and stuff like that. But then we'll go to intermediate type stuff. So we'll make simple apps. I have some pretty good at apps ideas that will be fun to make, and you learn the basics. That then when you get into apps like this, you just use those basics and you put them together with a whole bunch of different things, making a really cool app. Yeah, so I learned from online courses. Like I like Udemy, they have online courses you pay for. Some of them are really, really expensive, but some of them you can get for free. Online articles, YouTube, mainly documentation, honestly. Like, if you go to Firebase, it's documented. You can use that stuff easily. If you go to Apple developers, you can, I think it's developer.apple.com. You can search, and they have sample applications, and you can review the code. One thing, if you're looking at iOS stuff, you need to make sure you're not on Objective-C, because it's different, which I didn't know at the time. Objective-C and Swift are two different languages, and they still have applications made in Objective-C. Like, Objective-C is like the bearer, like Swift is like a layer almost on top of Objective-C, so it like simplifies the Objective-C language in a way. So like in Objective-C, you have like a file for the view, and then you have a file for the model. And in Swift, it almost takes both of those and combines them into a file with the storyboard, so you don't have to have two different files. But it's like a layer on top of it. It's pretty much the same thing, just different code. So, but yeah, that's how I learned to code. Coding's the best. They even have apps. Like, the App Store is trying to prevent stuff for like Android, but you can learn Swift in an app on the App Store. Like, that's how I learned Swift. I think the app that I learned is called Swiftly. Swiftly. That's the one I learned from. It's a pretty good app. And I was kind of confused because like I understood what Swift was, but I was like, how does this make an app? Well, you combine that with the view and different components, and that's how you make the app. Which, like in the beginner course I'm going to be doing, you'll learn that type of stuff. But, yeah. We got one live viewer. Alright, guys. Well, unless you have any more questions, I'm going to head out. See you guys on Thursday. Alright. Alright. Peace out, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share if you liked it. Helps the channel out. Helps so I get better videos for you guys and stuff like that. So, peace out.